to question Jesus. Not because they want to have a conversation with him, not because they want to hear what he has to say, but because they're trying to trick him. They're trying to make him say something that will give them a reason to arrest him. They are trying to get him to say something that will give them that reason that they need to get rid of him. But Jesus is smart. You know, I'm really impressed by him. Obviously, I'm impressed by him at all times. But, you know, I really love how he answers these questions. Because, you know, have you ever been in an argument with somebody and somebody's really mean to you? And maybe they even say like bad words and scream at you. And you just want to be that smart person that gives the smart answer. No bad words, no screaming. You just want to be like, you know, this is your answer, and then walk away. That's Jesus. He gives them that, and he even uses their own beliefs against them in their answer, in his answer, so that they end up feeling like a bunch of idiots after they've asked it. That's what I want when I answer somebody's stupid question to me. That's my goal in life. So what he does is he uses this idea that they have that, first of all, that there's no resurrection, and also that the law is the most important thing. That in order to be a good Jewish person, you have to follow the law. If anybody knew the law, it was the Sadducees. Let's go back to this question. They ask him a question about marriage. And actually, the part I want to read it is his answer, because there's 2 points I want to make about his answer. Jesus said to them, those who belong to this age marry and are given in marriage, but those who are considered worthy of a place in that age and in the resurrection from the dead neither marry nor are given in marriage. The law is not needed in the kingdom of God. We don't need the law because we live by grace. We live by love with God. You know, you ever think about weddings? You know, this question could have been about anything. It could have been about any one of the 613 laws that are mentioned in the book of Deuteronomy and the book of Leviticus. But they chose this one about marriage. And if you think about marriage, it's kind of a strange thing. We do a couple of things when we get married. We have the religious aspect of it, but we also have a legal aspect of marriage. Now, when I got married in a really big hurry, and not for the reason any of you are thinking of at this moment. I got married in a hurry because I needed to do fertility treatments, and we needed to start right away. And my dad said to us, okay, go to the courthouse tomorrow, get married in the courthouse, and Tony can move in, and in a couple months, we'll have a religious ceremony. And we said, great. So the next day we went to the courthouse, we got married, signed the little paper. We had some witnesses there, my husband's brother and his wife. And it was done. We were married. And he moved in with me at my parents' house because it was kind of unexpected. We weren't planning on getting married that quickly. And from that point on, we were married. That was February 4th, 1997. And on April 19th of that same year, we had a wedding ceremony at the church, which was lovely, but we were already married. People would ask me all the time, the day of the wedding, they would ask me, you don't look like you're nervous. Like a bride usually looks nervous. And my answer was, we're already married. He doesn't have to show up if he doesn't want to, but he's still married. So that paper that we signed on February 4th is very important, because if he's ever in the hospital and he can't make decisions for himself, there I am. I'm his wife. I can go visit him. The doctor can give me information about him. I can make decisions for him because he is my husband, and vice versa. If we had only gotten married through the church, if we had only had the spiritual ceremony or the church ceremony, we wouldn't have had that privilege. The day that he dies, or if I die first, the other inherits. We could claim the other person's Social Security if that person's is higher than yours, as long as you've been married for more than 10 years. Did you know that? Don't ask me why I know that. There's a whole bunch of things that you could do because you're married, because you have that paper. You wouldn't be able to do unless you had that. And now my dad used to tell my mom, and I found out about this a really long time ago, but after I was married, he would say to my mother, marriage is really not, legal marriage is really not necessary. Two people could go out, let's say to the beach if they wanted to, and together they could declare to God their love and say, we commit ourselves to each other. And that would be just as valid as any other marriage. Now, he didn't want my mother to tell us that because he wanted his daughters to be married the legal way. And so we did. We found out about that after all three of us were married. And it's true. When you come to church for that wedding, you come to tell everybody, we have decided to make a commitment to each other and to say that in front of God. But there is no legal aspect to that wedding ceremony until that marriage license is signed and sent off to the courthouse. But it's important. Well, when we are no longer here, when we're living our eternity, we're not going to need that. We're not going to have to worry about any legal paperwork to be married. We're not going to need any legal framework to love each other. We're not even going to have to call each other husbands or wives, because love is a thing that we feel for everyone. We don't have to put a label onto it. Have you ever talked about maybe your best friend and said, that woman I love like a sister? Or maybe someone that you know and you say, I love her like a mother, or I love her like a friend. In the kingdom of heaven, we won't have to put those labels on things. We won't have those limitations on love, because love is universal. Love is for everyone. And we will finally learn that grand love that God feels for us. And we will be able to share that with everyone without any limitations. Now, I preached this sermon last night. But after church, my husband wanted to go to the movies. And so he wanted to go see Terminator, whatever, number 100, however many Terminator movies there are. And I wasn't about Terminator yesterday. I just couldn't bring myself to do that. So we do this often. We show up at the same movie theater, and then he goes and sees his movie, and I go and see my movie. I know, my mom thinks we're crazy. So I went to go see Harriet. Have you all seen Harriet yet? Yeah, if you have not seen it, you got to go see it. That movie is amazing. Yes. And the story in itself is so fantastic. The thing is, I hear this all the time, especially from like my mom's generation. This world is going to HELL. This world is going crazy. There's so much craziness going on in this world. And my answer to that is, this is what was happening back in the 19th century, in the 18th century, in the 17th century. Slavery here in this country and in so many other countries. I know you all don't remember this time, but I know that in centuries past, people would get together in the town square to watch executions. Can you imagine yourself going to see somebody have their head chopped off or somebody hung? People would do